NFTs because I'm still just learning myself.
And so when I went to Berlin, I had a really great conversation with Alex. He was very much aligned with what we're thinking about in terms of regenerating Tulum and also helping artists get exposure and make money from their amazing art that used to change how we see things. One of the most powerful ways of conveying messages. So I talked to him, and it really was helpful in terms of evolving the conversation. And so we're expecting him to join shortly. And in the meantime, it would be great to know kind of, I guess, Alexandra, do you have, what's your understanding or experience with NFTs? Has anyone actually bought an NFT? That would be a pretty interesting thing to know.
I'm sort of excited to learn a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, me too. All I know is that a lot of artists that I follow are creating art currently, and they're selling out like crazy.
Yeah. Nice. Alex, what's up from Berlin?
So I know it's something that is picking up.
Thanks for coming.
How are you?
My man.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, it's all
Sorry, I'm late.
Hola, flaco.
We're on Mexican time right now. All right. Well, cool. So getting some feedback from the team the other day, I'm throwing out what I think could be a good container name for basically something that's beyond Tulum, but I feel like we can start with Tulum, and then Tulum's collections want to have their own container as well with a different name. But this is something that I'm interested in, kind of this notion that, well, we can do a place-based NFT project, and that if we make it work in Tulum, then maybe it could work in Playa, it could work in Berlin, it could work in other places, but we start with Tulum. And just like to hear any feedback you have on this notion of, like, it'd be cryptoplaces.org or .live, the .io and .com the .io was taken and the .com was being sit on by the domain registers. They were asking $10,000 for it, for the premium name. Any thoughts on that as a container? Any reservations from anybody?
There is actually now technology in crypto. They have a web address that's not censorable. It's .crypto, and you cannot take that page down ever. So that's actually a nice way to introduce it, I think, if you are already. Yeah.
Can you check and see if places.crypto is available?
Yeah, I would check with my friend. He told me about this the other day. So yeah, if you're looking for a domain name that's original and techy, that's a new way of doing it.
Yeah, awesome. If that one's available, that'd be great. Oscar, you were about to say something?
I'll check.
No, I'm good.
Cool. The reason is pretty obvious. Well, Tulum needs us. Regen Tulum needs some awareness and some funding. Art is a powerful way to get messages across. People don't really know how to help Tulum, and this whole art NFT world is blowing up at the moment. There's so many projects coming out, but there's very few social impact ones, although there are some. In fact, a 17-year-old kid out of somewhere did the Flying Frogs one, in endangered species.io or something like that, NFT.io or something like that. I'm not sure how successful that was, but I'm starting to see some social impact one. But there's none that I've seen so far that are place-based. So that's particularly interesting because we're doing a place-based project. And then the notion here would be that we could have multiple collections. So maybe Alex organizes a Berlin Berlin Tulum collection. Maybe there's a street art collection. Maybe there's some other collection that's associated with directory, but we can essentially do a series of collections. And I'm just demonstrating here, because of the availability of the art, that what it might look like with street art. So you have a set of Genesis NFTs. These are the actual photographs of the art. It could be a piece of them, like this is just a piece of this one, this is just a piece of this one, or it could be the entire mural. These are all taken from Tulum town. And then the notion is we have a set of these, maybe it's 16, maybe it's 30, whatever we decide. We could actually have a street team go out and find the best ones, and that they think, and then we bring them back and we vote on which ones actually get to be part of the Genesis NFTs. We would then have a computer program. Well, actually, I'm skipping a step. We would then put a lot of metadata. We'd put a lot of metadata around these. And my thought was that we could identify faces, we could identify necks and orientations of different things, so that when the computer goes around and selects several NFTs to put together to create the actual NFT images, it could have use that metadata to maybe like take the face of the jaguar and put it on, replace the face of the lady, for example. So we could do some interesting things if we know more about the art, which is just a process of adding metadata to it. And so it's adding metadata to the images. Is it one that we want to consider for a background? If so, what piece of the background would we not want to do? If it has a head and a face, where does the net?
Can I, before you expand on that idea, go a step backwards about authorial rights? I mean, do we know the artists that did these art pieces? Are we in contact with these people? I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable to put art out there which I didn't talk to the artist or have, if they don't have any knowledge about this. I handle a lot of copyright, so this is something I would not suggest. I would rather suggest also about when you talked about Berlin and the other cities, it doesn't matter like where it comes from. It's more that it's art related to Tulum, I would say, and it could come from any artist that has any relation to Tulum. I mean, people go and some live there and some go there every year and live halfway there. And I think also the motivation that people would like contribute to this, but then actually know who did the piece of art, have a little bit more information about the artist. So this is also, I think, added value to the NFT, not just taking pictures of street art that is out there and not knowing who did it and not attributing the credit, I'm just saying from a point of view of an artist, and also as a product manager, I mean, there's a legal aspect to it, and so that's my thought on that.
My thought on that is, obviously we would try to contact the artists, and and that they would be getting 50% of the revenues, just like any other artist in the thing. And if they said,
well, it doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how much they get. It's just a matter of. I was just
going to say, if they said that they didn't want their thing to be in it, then it wouldn't be in it. It's an offer to them.
It's just, that's one thing that would be important. Not that we don't take any ingredients, so to say, where we don't know who the author is and that has been cleared. That would be important to me, at least.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great point, and I think that we would just, check with the artists.
Note there, if they have the signature, it's not that difficult. I sent you, David, somebody from last night. I already have his contact information. He's doing a lot of street art here in Playa. So some of them we can get. Definitely, I completely agree. I think it should be that way because we might potentially have copyright issues. But if there's some sort of a signature or anything, it's not that difficult to find out here.
Exactly. And usually they know each other among each other. So if you know a few, they can ask around and you ask, who's this piece from that street corner or whatnot. And you will find that out. It's just a matter of doing that little homework and doing it right.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was always the intention. And I don't even think you need a signature, because like you just said, people actually know, even if it doesn't have a signature, people know who it is. You can go talk to the building next to
all
it.
that way. Yeah. Usually it has a tag under it, like of the name of the artist.
Yeah, and to your other point, I think that it actually shouldn't say Berlin there. It should say Nativo. Your label name is what I'm saying.
Well, that doesn't matter. I mean, at one point that will come out. It's not about branding my thing there. It's just in general speaking of the project and where the art comes from, and it should be anybody. And then maybe in the information and the attached metadata, you have some information about the artist, where this is from, and all that stuff. And that can be from all around the world. I mean, you have a lot of people all around the world that love Tulum. So
but I guess what I'm getting
to
at
see
is,
who draws what.
I'm just getting at that there can be different collections that are created in different ways that have different producers that do them, because
also sure.
That's
in many ways.
That's my main point here. And the one that for example, that maybe you are instrumental in creating, that has music with everyone, etc. That one, maybe maybe it's not named Nativo, but it could be named, it could be named whatever. I just was putting a kind of a placeholder there. It
could be Nativo collection, kind of, as if you want to give collections names and stuff. Of course, we will elaborate on that to get it right. And that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, what Nativo Tulum, maybe even, obviously it probably should have Tulum in the name too. So that
could be. Yeah, this is just technicalities, but definitely you can use our name, and we're obviously proud to contribute with our artists, and they will be happy. So it's going to be amazing.
And so getting back to, and thank you, Alex. I mean, that conversation needed to happen around the copyright thing and the artists, and we absolutely can't use anyone's art without doing it. So thank you for that comment. So the computer would take a look at the metadata, et cetera, and basically assemble a new, unique rendition of what several of these different images and layers would look like. It might even look a lot different and better, perhaps, if we were able to kind of identify faces and necks and be a little bit more strategic about how these things, what metadata we're giving the computer. But the idea is going to basically take 3 JPEGs, and you will know who the artists are. These will be the people who will be compensated for the sale of that NFT. There'll be a certain number in the collection. The specific NFT will have its own number. So this would be 3323 out of the 5,555.
Mm-hmm.
And then when someone goes to the website, I mean, they would see something like that as well. They would actually see probably all the Genesis NFTs. But the important part is they'd also see this button on there that says connect a wallet. So for those of you who have not purchased a NFT before, essentially you have to have a browser-based wallet. And that's essentially something that stores cryptocurrency. Is there anyone else who wants to speak in detail about what the wallet is? Alex or Oscar or someone else?
Whoever wants to go first. Well, a wallet is just an address. It's a code, actually. It's just like a random, it's a string of numbers and letters. And then this is your address for storing all your, whatever you have, cryptocurrency. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum address. It has to be one address attached to each coin. And then this is your wallet, so to say. Basically, it's just a code. And you could have it on a piece of paper. You can have it on a Trezor or like some modern USB device, or you could have it anywhere. But it's basically just a piece of code, and this is on a blockchain, and it's forever there. It's not changeable, so that's what makes it unique. And this is your address. That's your wallet. There you can send and receive coins, basically.
And so there's one really popular one there's probably a number of popular ones, but MetaMask is the one that I'm most familiar with. And then for specific platforms, like if we wanted to do this on the Solana blockchain, and I know Alice and I had talked about doing it on something other than Ethereum, because Ethereum is so gas intensive, then we would have to use
very high costs, very high user costs. The gas, maybe it has to be explained, the gas fees. So the so-called gas fees are transaction fees, which are extremely high on Ethereum. You can end up paying hundreds and thousands of dollars just in fees, which is ridiculous right now. So yeah, maybe we should look at another option there. There are other options right now. So maybe just a thought.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Solana right now, just because I went and I'm participating in an NFT drop, and it was just so easy to set up. I set up the Phantom wallet, and it was just very easy. I guess we could do more research on it and come up with one. I don't think it's something we should decide today.
So for the newbie here with the two experts, so the wallet is just, it can be from a number of different places. So I can choose, and so like buying Bitcoin versus any other coin, there's a wallet that might be better than better than another. So
well, actually,
it's not just
actually what Coinbase does, or all these services, they offer you a range of wallets that you can have addresses of all sorts of coins, so you can deposit and buy. And for the thing with NFTs is, if you want to buy NFTs, you have to use usually Ethereum. It's all the biggest marketplace is managed in Ethereum. That's like kind of the currency that they chose. I think it's like the most used one. So then you need an Ethereum wallet to
gas-wise, right?
Yeah. But that's something we have to analyze. I think, like, actually which network we're going to use is an important decision to take, because then you're once locked up to that, there's no going back, or you have to do it all again on another one. So yeah, that's an important decision to do, which we should take a look. And yeah, but that's basically it. You have that's a wallet.
So Coinbase is not a wallet itself. Coinbase is just the account.
It's a provider that offers you all these wallets in one,
account
in a nice packaged way, that you have a nice user experience. You can do it on the web page, which is nicely designed, so you have the ease of use of buying and selling your Bitcoin. But it's all just basically the web page, and then behind there is this piece of code, which is your wallet. Yeah, this is how it works.
Yeah, so think of Coinbase as the exchange. That's where things are being bought and sold. You have an account on the exchange. You actually have what they call a custodial wallet on the exchange.
Yeah.
You can basically just leave your anything that you buy and sell in Coinbase in their wallet, which is a custodial wallet because it's associated with an exchange. Or you can get one of these non-custodial wallets that's separated from the exchange. And there's some benefits to that, including more security. Of course, it costs money to send it to the non-custodial exchange. So it just depends on what network you're on. If you're on Ethereum, you're going to spend $50 to send it, or $30 to send it to the non-custodial wallet, which really sucks. But if you're on Solana, it might be a few cents, or ADA or some of these other ones. And so, as Alice was saying, you'll have a choice at Coinbase for multiple different non-custodial wallets that you can use. So anyway, we will need to make that decision. One other thing to note here is when people buy an NFT, this was something that came out when Alex and I were having a conversation, that we could give them privileges to do things. It would have to be things that we have access to, obviously, but if there are exhibitions of the art, or exhibitions that are related to other art that we're involved with, or there are parties and events, or there's ways that we can give them VIP status or something, or give them access to discounts or free music, or even what I saw recently, there was the papaya Alejandro, who some of you know, Alejandro Glato, who's doing crypto papayas. When you buy their NFTs, at least in this first round, you'll get a royalty on future NFT drops. So there's different things that we can do, different types of privileges that we can access to the NFTs. And it really makes sense to do so because nowadays, that's one of the primary ways to differentiate your NFTs from just just someone throwing some art out there and it doesn't actually come with anything else. Anyone want any comments on that? Hey, Ole.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Hi, Benjamin.
Hi.
Hi, all.
This all making
Hey,
sense to
everyone.
you, or are you an expert already?
Yeah, I'm not expert yet, but this information can bring me some ideas to continue in research too. So, okay, thank you. I am continuing to listen to you, and if I have a question, I will tell you. Thank you.
Okay. And I just want to mention that she and I had a conversation about the possibility of doing something with children's art. So of course we get
Okay.
get the permission of the parents is non-negotiable, but there probably haven't been any NFTs with children art, and maybe that could be an interesting collection for us to do. And to involve kids in this and for them to start learning about this really like groundbreaking thing that's going to affect the rest of their life. So I thought that was a great idea she had.
Whoa, sounds so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, you were about to say something.
No, all good. All good.
Okay. And so here's the notion about how things would be distributed. So the lion's share, the 50% would go to artists, 40% would go to Regen Tulum, and 10% would be going to the NFT team. So these are the people that are being community managers on Discord, that are working on getting permission from the artists, who are recruiting artists, who are putting metadata, doing the metadata on the different images so they can be put together by the computer, the people that are doing the smart contract, who are building the website that allows people to mint, the PR people. So it's basically going to require a real team to actually pull this off, because these things really only work if you build up some momentum behind them. And what I'm now thinking, I'm actually thinking that before I put it in terms of ETH and definitely reserve the right that it isn't necessarily having to be transacted in ETH, but I'm also thinking that I'm thinking Solana, not necessarily having to be that, but also much less of a lower price for our first collection. Maybe it's $20 to $40 instead of $200 to $400. And if we do it on another network other than ETH, I mean, I'm just guessing here that the gas fees with ETH would be $70. And you got to realize also that high gas fee, which, okay, a gas fee is when you're minting. The way these things work is we would put them out as a drop. People go ahead and mint them, which they had to connect their wallet and then say that they want to spend the money, the cost of the particular NFT, and they also have to pay for the gas. Now with ETH, the gas is going to be usually $40 to $70, if not more. Like Alex said, it could go into hundreds of dollars. If we did it with Solana, the gas will probably be cents. There's other proof of stake blockchains that do.
Andrew posted a question. Andrew posted a question.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Chat.
Okay, is there a bit? Well, the benefit over ETH over Solana is that Ethereum is where the vast majority of NFTs are being stored. OpenSea is where the majority of them are being sold. OpenSea only works with ETH and with Matic or Polygon. So if we were to do it in Solana, then we're basically working in a much smaller ecosystem. So it's,
Well,
yeah.
just a thing
So,
you just mentioned. Sorry, just
No.
one thing you just mentioned that OpenSea, because OpenSea is like the main market for NFTs, so it's good to be on it. And if they accept Matic, that's also a good solution, because Matic is cheap and fast. So I think if that's possible, I didn't know that. I'm not that big in NFTs, but I know that Matic is cheap and fast. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. You know what's interesting, when I looked at the NFTs on OpenSea for Matic, which, just so people know, Polygon and Matic are the same thing. Matic is the name of the coin. Polygon is what they call the actual blockchain. The NFTs, the Matic, the Polygon NFTs on OpenSea are not the best ones, but you know.
Okay.
But you know what?
Yeah, that I didn't know.
I don't think that matters though. I actually don't think that matters, because we would be creating our own market, and if we want to be, OpenSea, there's benefits to it. So let's definitely keep that in as a top option. Andrew.
That would have been my follow-up question there, David.
Yeah,
Andrew.
And I agree with you as far as OpenSea being the biggest space right now. But I think it comes down to how you're planning on marketing. If all the marketing is coming from, your direct action, then you're going to be able to point, the traffic to wherever your marketplace is. And
also true.
So, but yeah, Matic is a good option, with OpenSea. Personally, I'm just a fan of Solana. I just like the user face and the wallets and everything. It's just much more clean. But yeah, I think we were talking about the same thing as far as opening a marketplace on OpenSea versus Solana or one of the other NFT marketplaces on Solana. And yeah, I think that's what it's coming down to. If you're building the Discord community, you're pulling all the people into the Discord, and you're the one that's providing the link to say, hey, here's where our NFTs are, then that link is going to take them to wherever you choose. So
yeah, I like Solana too. Why do you like Solana? Just because it's the ease of use? Is that?
I mean, from a technical capability, it's just, it's like comparing a fighter jet to a horse and carriage when it comes to Ethereum versus Solana. But from a user face side, it just looks more clean. It's just more appealing. It's, everything on Solana is just sexy, and the projects that are coming out on it are dope too. So yeah, it's just the things that I've noticed. And
wait, the follow-up question: when you say fighter jet, are you saying that's Ethereum or Solana? Because I was thinking that the fighter jet is Solana.
Yeah, totally Solana.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like, what is Ethereum block confirmations are like 10 minutes, and the Solana is like less than a second. It's like 0.4 seconds. And it's not even really comparable.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're really seeing that really matter at this point. I mean, I guess we are with gas fees, but I think it's only going to continue to get more congested. But Matic is it seems to be a decent solution for your Ethereum. But yeah, I mean, it is. And another question that I don't really have clarity on is, would it hurt to do both? Right? Could you not have, a marketplace on a Solana blockchain, but also a same marketplace on, on Ethereum? And, I'm sure at some point there's going to be some type of, cross-chain system where it's compatible with everything. But what if you just built an interface on both?
Well, what's interesting,
question I have.
Potentially do that, but I guess you would need to either have two separate collections, or you'd need to have something very sophisticated within your you'd need to have two different smart contracts, and your website would need to basically not only be able to mint with both of them, but when one has minted a specific number 3323, if that got minted on Solana, then it can't get minted on ETH. So there's just like more complexity that would be needed to do it. I think it's interesting, this notion of I mean, I don't know, if we want to be on OpenSea, then doing it on Matic might make sense. Just, I mean, what I think Francis and I had a conversation about the gas and the environmental costs, or maybe with someone else, but we're doing regeneration. Should we be doing, yeah, I mean,
It's
Doesn't work.
huge, and we cannot go against what we do. We need to find the best solution.
The
that
most
is
ecological
the
solution.
most-
Yeah, we talked about
Correct.
Yeah,
this.
I
I
think that's the
Yeah.
answer right there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that means either
Yeah.
Matic on OpenSea or Solana.
Yeah, or Solana. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I would almost even say just for kind of the purpose of the project, even steering away from Matic, just because it is kind of tied into Ethereum. You know, it's Solana is like the most sustainable. You know, when you want to talk about sustainability and efficiency, Solana is the biggest one.
Okay. So
Alexandra,
let's take a look at
how
that.
to
Sorry. I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say it's also about the user experience. It should be, as he said, it's all sexy on Solana. That sounds good. It should look good and sexy for the user. It should be easy to use. To buy an NFT, to get involved in this, there's a little educational process that some people are not used to this. Not everybody knows how to buy an NFT. So yeah, it should be as easy and sexy as possible, I think.
Yeah, Francis?
Now, Alexandra is sending a message saying, could you create a curated collection for the best platform? She can't use the mic right now. I just saw her text. And I was going to mention David and I were speaking about it, and I don't know if it's a possibility, but being that there's two of us here, because both Alexandra and I are with Sotheby's, and so I'm in the real estate side of it. Sotheby's auction house just announced that they have been 2% of their sales are coming from NFTs. So I don't know if there's a possible way, but I'm going to find out if there's anything that we can do. And it would obviously have to be a curated collection. And I think what she's saying is also entirely right. A curated collection for a particular platform, that would be the best platform, obviously.
Well, if we were able to do that, to get that relationship, first of all, it means that the entire thing is hugely successful. It's much easier to build the Discord group. I mean, everything just becomes so easy. It may be that they'd want to do it on one of the different platforms like Super Rare or something like that. They may want to do a smaller collection, but I think we could appeal to their need to actually participate in regenerating the planet and doing ecological things and being sustainable, because they're not necessarily. I mean, like any other mainstream business, Sotheby's is not, they're not really participating at a great level in sustainability. So I think it would be so amazing if that could be done. And even if it was a small collection, you know what I'm thinking? Now that you're saying it, just the generative nature, something is emerging, that Genesis set of NFTs could be sold as super rare for whenever we do Genesis. Our Genesis NFTs could be sold as super rare on a different platform or auctioned through Sotheby's, basically. I don't know, just thought. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think based on this conversation, I mean, let me ask you all, how do you all feel about doing lower cost ones in our first one, and maybe something on $20 to $40 instead of $200 to $400?
I think that's good, because I'm just becoming familiarized with all of it. So I like tangible assets better than digital assets. So this is all new to me, but I also understand where it's going. So, and I think that it opens the possibility for a bigger market as well, because some people are not going to be able to invest a higher level. You're going to be able to come in at a lower level. So I think it's completely rational, logical.
There should be
that way.
different series, different prices maybe. There's a premium series, which can be in the thousands. There can be a middle one in the hundreds and another one in the 20s, 50s. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really good point.
Or 50s, yeah.
And I was
Let's
about-
not go too cheap.
And that the gas cost is not outrageous, because I mean, like I would literally just not buy it because of what David, from what you told me the other day, what the gas cost would be and what the impact to the environment would be. There's certain things that would just make me say, okay, not getting into this. So we have to kind of really look
It
at
has to be
what are
congruent.
truly going to be the best options.
Yeah,
If you want to save Tulum and be ecologically friendly, you cannot do it on Ethereum. It's just
Yeah, we're pretty much doing the same thing that everybody else is already doing, saying they're eco-friendly and sustainable, and it's all BS.
well, I mean, I think we
It brings me-
group is established that we're not going to be on Ethereum. So let's just assume that we're going to move forward with either Matic or Solana at this point. I think it's fair to say that everybody agrees on that. And what I would say is my initial inclination is to go, especially for our first one, to go lower in price. But hey, if we get Sotheby's, if we were able to get like a relationship with Sotheby's or with crypto.com or one of these other premier places, then our first collection could be expensive, and it could be the Genesis NFT. So I think we just need to be flexible, but leaning towards lower price, at least for the first one, in my mind.
We could also use the sustainability to help with the marketing angle. If you say you choose to go with Solana, framing that with Solana, saying, "Hey, we're using you guys because we're a sustainable regenerative project, and we believe you guys are the best chain for that." It may be something that their marketing team would appreciate to kind of use to just give them a different angle in the space, saying they can even maybe start to. I don't know if it's something they claim, but kind of coming from the most sustainable blockchain side, and even sustainable regenerative projects are starting to use our platform. Could be something appealing to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right. There's a whole PR angle to this as well that could be really helpful to get the promotions and end up getting our Discord build, which is probably the most important thing.
And another thing I think too, I don't know if you've. I think this is the first meeting, right, for the Regen NFTs. Okay,
Yep.
so maybe you haven't discussed this. This was just some other ideas that we were kind of entertaining, was using the revenue from the NFT to actually funnel that back into like indigenous tribes for indigenous art pieces. If they have say that some tribe in the Amazon makes this cool art piece. My friend Cassandra has a couple of skulls, for example, that are like painted with the beads and everything that they use to create NFTs. Maybe using like some type of motion picture, or what do they call it, stop motion, and modeling the real physical piece, and then selling some copies of those, and then even maybe shipping the physical art piece to one of the NFT owners, however that would work. But the intention would basically be to funnel the money, use make money off of the indigenous art piece, then funnel that back into the indigenous tribes or communities. And then same thing, there's this amazing piece of art in Akumal. I'm sure all of you guys have seen it, the one that's on the bridge to go to the beach. It's like probably one of the most beautiful art pieces, street art that I've seen around Tulum, that one. And then the one that's on the side of Digital Jungle. It's like, if you could capture the value that creates just by me seeing that, and then give that back to the city of Akumal, like, I mean, you have in the NFT space, that's like a multi-million-dollar piece of art sitting there, and you have this poor town that's like has this beautiful piece of art. So, and I think that's the intention here, is finding a way to take the art and funnel the value back into the town that's actually physically holding the art piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the model we have. So this is the piece that goes, like, basically we can do multiple collections. So what you're speaking to is the possibility of an indigenous art collection, maybe out of the Amazons, which, by the way, I'm headed there in November. So if we want to do that, we could. But here's the piece that goes to them, the artists, half of it. And then this 40% goes to Regen Tulum. Now, initially, this will the the part that goes to Regen Tulum will be used to actually build the community currency and, you know, get operations together. But ultimately, anything that goes to Regen Tulum is going to end up funding regenerative projects in Tulum and the Mayan era. So, I mean, I think you're
that,
in.
yeah, that should be specified a little bit clearer, I think, like to make also to bring that point across to the people, like how much of this is actually ending up to save the environment, make that very clear, and yeah, and how this is going to work. Like, I think this is something that I don't know yet, and I don't know. Do you?
How what's going to work?
Like how actually the process of giving back this income, so to say, to Tulum, like how is it practically going to work?
Well, that's what Regen Tulum is, and we have a white paper, and
Yeah, that's in the white paper.
yeah, I'll be
Okay.
happy to share that.
Yeah, I didn't
loop
see
you
that.
in.
Sorry, it's just okay. Sorry.
I didn't want to
I'll loop you
overwhelm you. Go ahead, Francis. What are you gonna say?
No, I said I'll loop in, but essentially, are we gonna keep the 3% for the NFT projects as well, or is the 3% across the board? David?
You know, I don't know. That's a decision that needs to be made, and it could be made by the people involved in the conversation around the NFTs and by the council of Regen Tulum. I think that's
Okay.
yeah, that's a decision that the community should make. I'm totally open to it.
Okay, yeah, so Alex, essentially there's out of every transaction, whether it's Tulum coin or NFTs or anything that has to do with Regen Tulum, there's certain fees that are involved. Out of that, there's 3% that is going to go back to a Regen Tulum fund that will be used based on community voting for different projects, that initiatives that we're working on. So that's the transaction fees, etc. But 3% is back to the fund. And again, like that can increase or decrease based on what the community decides, or maybe even based on what the person doing the transaction. Like in my case, I would donate much more than that from a commission for Regen Tulum. So it all depends on who's maybe doing the transaction. So
Yeah, I would also, I mean, if you look at the distribution of the percentages, I mean, I come from the artist side, but I would still say that they could get less. I mean, if it's about saving Tulum, I mean, it would be, I mean, for me as a consumer, if I look at this kind of information, I would like to, I mean, I don't see this as a consumer, but if I hear about a project that does this thing, I want to know how much I'm actually, if I buy this NFT, how much of this is going back into this project, so that we could make that part. This should be part of the marketing anyway. So cut down a little bit on the artist revenue and try to make as much as possible profit for the projects. And then, yeah, I have to look at the white paper. You know, I was super busy. I didn't read through it. I'm sorry about that. But it will be really interesting to see how this will translate into reality and how this is governed and how the decisions can then be changed or not. And yeah, so I will read through that soon, I hope. And yeah, but this is like, I think too much for the artists. I think if we want to raise money for the cause, the worst thing about ONGs and all the good intentions is that most of the money ends up in administration, or a lot. An overhead cost that can be avoided by, they're just wasting the money on themselves, you know, on running the thing, but it doesn't actually end up helping people. I mean, I come from Bolivia. I know this in many ways. This happens all the time. So I would like to do the same again, or like to see something like that happen. So let's just try to make it also to the artists clear that it's like for a good cause, but also the artists, especially after Corona, they have to make some money. So, but with those numbers, I think it will be okay, I guess.
Let me ask you
to make more. Yeah.
How would you feel? What if this pie chart had 50% for Regen Tulum and 40% for artists? How would that sit?
Well, it's just, for me, it's not clear how much of these 50 or 40% or whatever of the Regen Tulum will actually end up in the project. That's something I want to know. I didn't read the white paper, I'm sorry. So I'm asking a question that maybe you could answer now. If you look at this pie chart, could you say how much of this would actually end up in the project?
Well, initially, we're gonna probably have to spend 500, maybe, I don't know, between $100,000 and $200,000 to build our community currency platform. I mean, it's going to be DeFi, and it's going to have a number of aspects to it, and it's going to have to be launched and everything. So there's going to be probably a couple $100,000 that needs to be raised for that. But beyond that, everything that goes beyond that will be going to the Regenerative Projects Fund. There may be a little bit that goes to operations, but I mean,
did you do a budget on that and on marketing expenses and stuff, like how actually, get this to the people, because you have to communicate this quite a bit. I think we have to do quite a bit of marketing as well, not just word of mouth. So there's a budget. I mean, there's money. It's not a problem. I think all of this will be covered. It's just, I like numbers and I like projects and I like seeing how viable something is and where it goes. So I would like to work on these numbers a little bit if we can do this together. I mean,
oh my God, together, so do that. I love it. That's perfect, because in the best.
And actually, there's something else. I just remembered there's something else. I have to leave like in 5 minutes to pick something up. There's this app for what's it called, project management, right? It's called Monday. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Monday.com. It's an Israeli platform, and well, they are really. Are you listening? Are you hearing me? I don't know. Something changed here on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, and the one of the Jewish guys, he's here in Berlin. He's a friend of the owner, and he's managing a fund for good causes, so to say. They're starting with a project with a few millions. It will go into billions. And well, they have the funds to actually give us probably the software if we want to use it for the app. It's for a good cause. So if we want to organize this project a little bit more professionally with the proper project management app, and like see what this, like see all the process, and everybody can contribute, and everybody has tasks and whatnot, we could actually use that. I think we would like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's talk.
I can ask him. Yeah.
So we would have a baseline, I mean, from which to work with, because I'm not familiar with it, but as Andrew asked before, I was really curious as to how to market it, because I don't see a lot of marketing, like traditional marketing going on around, but I mean, it's a matter of marketing it properly and learning like what the baseline fees are for everything. And
this is a business plan. I mean, you have to do a business plan, and the business plan, there's a marketing plan. And this is something just we have to map out, and there are different ways of doing it. We work together on all media. I mean, music, images, art. I mean, we're everywhere. So it's just a decision we have to make. If we do it on Instagram, if we do it on TikTok, if we do it anywhere. I mean, there's so many ways for us to reach people, I think. So this is just a matter of managing the project and writing stuff down. So we should maybe do weekly meetings. And to start chopping this up.
Yeah.
Are there any NFTs already created with music?
Yes, actually, a lot of labels are doing this right now. They're trying to bring out releases and special releases in NFT format. I don't really know what they're doing. Like, I know some special ones that do like special editions and whatnot, but I have to look into it, because us as a label, we also want to do it. But we want to do it right. I like to do it in a proper way. So I'm going to study that and see how they're actually doing it. But it's basically, you attach something to something else. I mean, they do special versions of a song, they put a video to it. They maybe, tickets, maybe you get a discount. Some bands do that now. You have like for lifetime tickets in certain shows. They can't organize it. I mean, DJs cannot always say to every event that their fans can go in for free. That's not very real, or other artists. So there's something we have to also see how that would actually work for us. But there's different ways. So I'm investigating that right now.
Well, awesome. Hey, what I wanted to say earlier is I'm so happy when someone says, hey, we need to do this. And then they say, and I'm willing to actually work with you on it. That's a beautiful thing. So certainly want to take you up, Alex, on the help with the budget for this. I've never budgeted for an NFT project, so that's,
Yeah, sure.
let's tag team it and maybe bring in some
Neither
people.
have I, but projects, and then we learn along the way, I guess. So
Yeah. So I know some people need to leave. I think if we want to take 5 minutes for anybody who hasn't spoken or who has spoken, who wants to add in some reflections, any thoughts that came up, any
I have
ideas.
to go.
Thanks, Alex.
I have to go, by the way. Sorry. Just thank you, guys. Thank you. Sorry, I have to leave, and yeah, talk to you soon.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Keep
Alexander.
me in the loop.
All right.
Bye bye.
Paco.
Ciao.
Oh, anyone have any thoughts, ideas, anything that came through they want to share?
Well, now continue with the idea with the artist with the art with kids. I just I can imagine now. I continue looking for more ideas, but I think the kids have a lot of creativity, a lot of and energy to do that, and I think it'd be great to work with them and their parents, and okay, I will look in for more ideas to do that, and to and talk about and more feedback when to talk with the parents now about the project.
Yeah,
So-
you know, I bet there's some Spanish language videos about what an NFT is that you can
Okay.
find, and if you find it, share it with us. But I think sharing it with your parents would be great, and telling them, hey, you know, we'd love to involve your children and find out who would be open to that. And, you know, as the artist, the kids and their parents would get some of the proceeds, right? So it would be supporting their families as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sounds pretty good. Thank you, Benjamin, and we are continue talking about this.
Awesome.
I'm agree with a weekly meeting. So
Awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
Great to hear. Good to see you.
thank you.
Anyone else have any reflections, ideas, thoughts that have come through over the last hour?
A quick question when I fell through, and I don't know if you answered it already. Are there NFTs already being done with the music in the background, or would this be our first initiative? Because we with the late.
Yeah, I know of that some artists are putting out it, but I think they're putting out audio ones. I would be surprised. I'm pretty sure that I've seen some little like a little video NFT with some music in the background, but those are not prevalent at all. So
Okay.
actually,
So we're pioneering,
yeah.
just like everything else. Perfect.
We put music in the background, we're pioneering. I would think that we would package our NFTs to have an image, maybe a GIF, which would not have music, and then a video. So you basically have all the formats in that one NFT.
Yeah. Maybe you can even do. Can you do like multiple? Like, can you buy one, for example, without the music, and say if you want the music, you pay this amount extra? Is that possible in this sphere of?
It would be a different NFT. Basically, one NFT would be
Got
the
it.
video
Yeah.
NFT, another one would be the image NFT. But yeah, I don't know. When you're minting, so I guess you would have to select what type of NFT you wanted to mint, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it randomly gives you the video or the image. That would be, I doubt that's happened where like you hit the mint button, you say yes, and you don't know whether it's going to be an image, a video, or a GIF. I don't think that that's been done yet. That's possible too. That's pretty interesting as well. Like especially if the video ones, I mean, the video ones would probably want to be most rare. I mean, this is the thing with NFTs. a lot of it is about rarity. So, you know, you don't know what you're going to get. There's certain traits of it. And, you know, if you get a trait that only 1% of all the NFTs happen, then your NFT is going to be worth more than ones that has all the trait, you know, 60 or 70% of the NFTs share that same trait, or even 10 or 20%. So the video one would probably want to be the rare one, I would imagine, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't have to be. But anyway, that's a thought. That's an interesting thought. It's an interesting spin.
I think the beauty of it is also that it's being sort of a new technology, and I mean, we can shape it, and you know, I think pretty much we're in a space that anything is possible. So it's just kind of up to us to put it out there. It's
Yeah,
kind of how I see it. So
yeah, absolutely. So Lola, Mish, Connor, any of you want to have any parting thoughts?
Sorry, I was a bit late, so I kind of missed the majority of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer to the question of how you use film in regards to NFT, but that's the primary reason that I'm on here, to try and offer my content in exchange to help. I just don't know how that would be facilitated. So if someone knows, then shout.
Well, it's simple. We would do an NFT of a clip of film. That would be it. And
So nobody knows.
what's that? No, it's just standard. It's just a different, and it's like simple. I mean,
Sorry, I think I'm delayed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. We would just need to select what clips of the videos that you want to do, and yeah, that's one way. The other way, you could actually NFT the film. You could NFT trailers. You could NFT longer sections. And with those ones, what I would say is you may not want to make it unique. So what I've seen, there's this NFT collection called Stoner Cats, which is about cats that get high. And because of that, they knew, it was Ashton Kutcher and Mila, his wife or something, they knew that even despite their star power, it'd be very difficult to get something like that in the mainstream. So they said, well, you know, we need to decentralize entertainment. We're going to sell NFTs of our episodes, but they're not unique, I believe. I believe that you know, there's like 10,000 copies of each NFT, or maybe there's unlimited. I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of, NFTs can be configured to be one, so they're completely, there's just one version of it and super scarce, or you can set 10,000 copies of this one NFT, and these are all 10,000 authentic, and the privileges that go along with that NFT could be that you're able to see the premiere of the online premiere of the documentary. So you could actually do a documentary NFTs of the entire documentary or the trailer or whatever. So there's a lot of possibilities,
But to me, that just sounds like crowdfunding, and that would be the approach that we would take to crowdfunding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking to you about the other day. That's what they did. They raised $6 million in 2 days or 1 day for Stoner Cats. They crowdfunded it. Basically, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying.
So they
how I would
crowdfunded it using NFTs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, crowdfunding using NFTs because it's way sexier, way smarter, you're giving someone an asset that they can actually sell. It's way more interesting than.
But then, are you giving away the film?
No.
Like if you offer the whole film as an IP, say you give 100 copies, then what? They can sell, like that person owns that specific copy. Then what? Do they have the ability to sell to license it to Netflix? Or I think that's where it gets very tricky.
It doesn't get tricky because you just specify it. And have you heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club? That's like one of the crazy explosion NFTs. I mean, in terms of value, they're probably worth $20,000 to $50,000 each for these funny apes that just have different variations. They're like little cartoons. But anyway, they have permissive licensing, permissive IP licensing. So they allow anybody to take what they do and they can, so I think I mentioned this in the meeting, someone created a character and story around Jenkins, the Bored Ape, and they got that Bored Ape in CAA. That's only available because it has permissive IP. Now, in your documentary, I would not recommend you do that. I recommend that basically the NFT is essentially it's a signed copy of the documentary. So it has, if you do 100, it's scarce that there's 100 of them only in the world. And it gives you the privilege of being able to see the premiere first, and maybe some other privileges, or maybe there's some royalties from the documentary if it goes over a certain level of success or whatever. But I mean, usually people are not giving away IP rights, is what I'm just wanting to convey to you. Permissive IP is the exception, not the rule.
So question, I have a
Okay,
question.
thank you, man. That's very helpful to explain it.
All good. Francis, are you stuck?
Sorry, my internet. Go ahead, Francis.
I think she's stuck. Yeah, she might be back. Lola, you have any thoughts?
Yes. Well, he actually was asking something that I was also wondering. So thank you, Connor. Yeah, definitely I want to deep in this topic. Like I have illustrations made from me. I have few ideas that I want to also kind of crowdfund and crowdfund it. And is this project with the VR thing, the video that I want to do, that also may be interesting to related to NFT, no, that somehow get benefit from that. So maybe, I mean, I'm arriving in Tulum in November 15. And then I will be reading about it, and then maybe we can have a coffee and see more in detail how can I contribute also for this regarding Regen Tulum, because I'm very, very interested in saving Tulum. Other way, I'm not gonna make hedonia there. I'm even thinking about changing my mind. So I'm super into contributing with this initiative that you have, that is really necessary. Yeah, and then I want to show you my art and everything, and let's see what we can do from that. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great. It sounds like there's kind of a subset of this project to talk about films that people are making and how this could fit in. I think it totally fits in with what we're talking about here, because in a sense it's just another collection. And what happens if we work together on this, obviously some of the funds, a nice chunk of the funds go to Regen Tulum, which is great. It's great publicity for you all, but also, I mean, the whole point of it would be as well that we can make it easier for a lonely filmmaker to not only navigate this wilderness, but ideally we're able to create some momentum around the collections that come out of Regen Tulum, so you're able to maybe charge more or have a greater sell-through of your collections. I would love to consider continue the conversation with both of you, because I'm interested in both of your projects being very successful. And I think, like you said, Connor, NFTs in my mind are the new crowdfunding. I mean, yeah, you can do the old one, but this is the one where you're offering people an asset. You're not begging them. It's, I don't know. I've done crowdfunding before. I'm done with it. I'm not doing it again the other way. This is the new way. Anyway, anyone else have any thoughts before we get off?
I was actually gonna ask earlier before I got off if there's only other project I know of that's Tulum based is Alejandro Blat's project, the Crypto Papayas. Is doing NFT. So we're the only other NFT project that is Tulum based, and that's one question. And the other one is, are there a lot of other NFTs that are doing a portion of their revenues for regeneration or activism or just positive projects, if you will? I'm assuming that there's a lot of this, and so we're just adding to that, correct? And then Tulum based is one, so we will be the second one after Alejandro's.
Yeah, as far as I know, we would be. I mean, the key thing to know about Alejandro's is, first of all, it's tomorrow, and I'm going to be buying me some crypto papayas. It's not place-based though. It doesn't really.
It's awesome.
It doesn't really have anything to do with Tulum though. I mean, other than the papayas in Tulum are great, but
actually, I think it does. I mean, I read somewhere that the funds are actually going back to the water. I mean, unless it's global, but it's supposed to be going back to the region and for the water in the region. That's what caught my attention.
He didn't
actually when I found out about it.
He didn't specify how much, so I don't know how much it is, but I'm just saying in terms of the actual art, doesn't have anything to do with Tulum.
No.
This is the first place-based NFT that I've ever seen in the world where we're talking about doing. But anyway, I love his project. I'm gonna get me some, and tomorrow at noon CST, if you want to get some, they're about I think they're only $10 or $12, $15. It's not expensive. If anyone wants help getting set up, I recommend you go to Phantom Wallet. You'd have to get an account at a exchange. I would recommend Coinbase. Buy some Solana, which are about $190, $200. So just buy like a quarter of a Solana, $50 worth or something like that, and then get a Phantom Wallet. Happy to help anyone if they want to participate in this tomorrow. I think it's a great exercise.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. I'll send you.
I have Coinbase, so that's a head start. I think that's the hardest bit.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and buy some
Sign up for it.
What's that, Francis?
No, I think I probably signed up for Coinbase way a while ago, but I need to get updated on everything. So I'll get there.
So if you want to participate tomorrow, buy like $50 worth of Solana. And the thing is, you should want to be ready at noon. I believe it's noon, because the price goes up every 69 sale. And I don't know how much it goes up. And yeah, he's funny, actually. He's selling 6,969, and it goes up every.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you know what a papaya, you know what a papaya is, right? So, yeah, I won't go any further with that. But I love the fact that we're the first place-based, and I think it's really special that it's place-based in Tulum. Coming where all of this is coming from. I think that's amazing, actually. So. I had no idea that we were the only place-based place. I mean, there's so many beautiful places, but Tulum has that certain magic, indigenous, everything, some prophecy, so much behind it. I think it's wonderful that that's happening here. So I think it's a big positive. Yeah, and in terms of social impact NFTs, I've only seen several. I'm sure there's a handful of them, and I imagine there's going to be a lot more in the future. In fact, you reminding me that I had a conversation with someone about that, and they invited us to join their Impact NFTs group. So I'll go ahead and do that. Might as well be part of that. But yeah, so any parting thoughts anyone has? We have 2 more minutes.
Yeah. There is also a crypto club. I'm sure you're connected with them already, David, but I think maybe it would be a good idea to figure out how to collaborate with them.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to present to them on Wednesday. I'm presenting to the one on beach at El Hoya. So, I mean, if they're interested, great. That would be lovely. So,
Cool.
but yeah, I hope some of them will be. We'll just have to see. But I would love
Cool, man.
if anyone wants to come and support and be there and talk about Regen Tulum and why they're part of it. We could take like 3 or 4 people speaking, a minute or so about that. I think it would be so much better for this presentation if there was some support in this way. And I think it would encourage there to be more. I actually, like, if it's just me standing up there, I'm not that optimistic about people in the crypto club getting very excited about it at all, to be quite honest. But I think if there's a united front, we have 3, 4, 5 people coming. And if we start being involved with it, with the crypto club, I think that there's a great possibility. It just, like I said, by me alone, it's kind of it's a ho-hum. But yeah, can you make it 11? Maybe film it and speak, Connor, and in Francis, if you're around, or Oli, or any of you. It's 4 o'clock, I think, on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
Let's catch up after, David. I'll try my best.
Yeah, me too, because I'm leaving here a few minutes to get to Tulum to get settled into new place and have I'll talk to you offline.
Okay.
Let me know details.
Cool. Maybe I'll fund a taxi for whoever's able to. We can do a joint taxi from town for anyone who wants to come. What were you gonna say, Ali?
Just where will be the meeting on Wednesday?
In Hoya. It's a hotel on the northern part of the beach near the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and thank you, Connor, because I probably wouldn't even have mentioned it in Regen Tulum until the day of. And so because you brought them up, I'm going to put a note in and encourage people to come. And so you just transformed that experience just by speaking your
cool. Happy to help. Where are you most active these days, David? Discord or WhatsApp?
I'm most active in WhatsApp, but I want to be more active. I'm starting to get more active in Discord, but it's hard to do that if not a lot of people are there. So I need to figure out, all the messages are kind of overwhelming. So that's
yeah, man. I feel you. Okay, well, I'll pick one, and let's catch up briefly before it.
Okay.
It'd be good, at least for me, to understand if I'm going to present and maybe present the teaser and present it as kind of like a crowdfunding type of thing. I think I would definitely need to smash out some pretty clear things between now and Wednesday. So yeah.
Yeah,
if you wouldn't mind helping with that, that would be ace.
Yeah, if you wanted to, I mean, I think it would be really strong if we said we're doing this. This is, kind of the big framework around, our NFT collections, and there's going to be one based on this documentary. And, Connor, you come up and talk about that. And then, I mean, Ali, if you're able to make it, even if there's no commitment, but I'm just saying we're in conversations about doing one with the children's art in school. It's early stage conversations, but nevertheless, these are the directions we're looking at. That would be really powerful, I think, if you could make it, you guys could make it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's circle back around about that, and I'm excited. Wow, my presentation just got 10x in terms of.
Thank you a lot, Benjamin, for all the information and the patience.
Thank you. I'm excited to like a new world for this, but I want to learn a little bit more about how to market it, because marketing is more my area than, all right, how can I position this properly in this digital world? So excited to see you all once I get to Tulum.
Okay. Yeah, well, we can definitely talk about marketing. It's but there's some clear pathways It's all about getting 10 to 30,000 people in your Discord. However you get that, I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And if you do that, then it's going to be successful. So whatever your marketing channels can be to get people in that Discord, that's it. That's all that needs to be done. So it could be PR, could be many different ways. There's definitely pathways that people are using, but you may have, like, if we get Sotheby's, oh man.
I'm gonna do my best to try it. I promise you that much. So once I get settled this week, I'll touch base with my referral team in Miami, and I know we do have a route, because I've been down that route with traditional art already. So I'll find out what needs to be done and go from there. And yeah, and on the artist, I was gonna tell you, yeah, I sent you an artist that I met yesterday that was amazing. He's amazing artwork. It's like beautiful digital, like the colors are just, what do you call this, like, ¿cómo se llama? Well, we can get the artist. If we have the signatures, maybe we can look them up and then find the actual artist instead of just taking this shots of the street art and not promoting the artist. So
But no, we can never do that. Don't say we're not considering doing that. Please don't. We're not considering just taking the thing and taking their.
No. I mean, yeah, so we'll figure that, like we mentioned it earlier, and we'll figure that out. So it's shouldn't be that difficult to find out here.
No, and it doesn't even require a signature. It's just, I mean, we just show it to people in the neighborhood and they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so did it.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. And look forward to the next one. Let's do this time and at least see if that worked for people.
Thank you. See you in Tulum very soon. Ciao, ciao.
All right.
Carolina, ¿cuándo llegas?
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Llego a
Let's do
mediados de
it. Thank you
noviembre.
guys. Appreciate it.
¿Cuándo?
In mid-November.
Vale, nos vemos
15.
pronto.
Ciao, guys.
Sí, ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.